You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about Jaxson Dart. Finally, I get to make this Jaxson Dart video. My guy I had as the number one quarterback coming out in the draft. Yes, I had Cam Ward very, very damn close. I mean, look, kind of 1A and 1B kind of thing. All right. But I thought Jaxson Dart should have been a top 10 pick. And I think some teams, looking at you Steelers, looking at you Saints, looking at you Browns, are going to regret not having taken Jaxson Dart. And I think the Giants have got their next quarterback. I truly do. He's looked comfortable. He's thrown layered balls. He's looked good from the pocket. His athleticism has looked good. He looks so comfortable. If look, one way you can realize, can a quarterback make it, how are they going to look? When they get out on the field and they just look comfortable initially. I always go back to Brock Purdy. Because as a rookie, I remember him coming in some preseason game, and it was like in the end of the third quarter or some shit like that, and he just looked like he had played for 5 years. And I went, that's our future starter. And here we are, right? I'm a Niners fan. You could just tell the kid could play. And I was like, the last pick in the draft is going to be one of the best quarterbacks to come out of the draft. Okay, that's new. But guys, I will always bang the drum. He played a ton of college football. Jaxson Dart played a lot of college football. Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels. You know who didn't? I just made a video about him. Anthony Richardson. Mitch Trubisky didn't have a lot of yeah. I mean, that's a thing, folks. That's a thing. So Mike Kafka lays out their blueprint. As you can imagine, a lot of Giants fans wants this guy to start right now. I get it. I don't blame them. But it's a little bit like the Daniel Jones. I just brought up the D word. Daniel Jones and Richardson. They gave Daniel Jones $14 million. They gave Russell Wilson $10.5 million. That's a very lower end, very high end backup journeyman crossover kind of money. Russell's going to start a couple of games here. All right. He's going to. But Jaxson looks good. Processes well. Above average arm. Not a hand cannon. All right. He doesn't have Cam Newton's arm or Brett Favre's arm or Aaron Rodgers' arm. Not an all-time gun. Josh Allen. But his arm's good. And I would say his arm's probably a little bit above average. It's got plenty of velocity, plenty of zip on it. Here we go. Head coach Brian Daboll alluded to a set plan for Dart and when they intend to let him play in the regular season. Daboll attempted to lower fans' expectations in a way that made their plan sound rigid. Today, offensive coordinator Mike Kafka spoke to the media, sharing a few hints and insights into how they're approaching Dart's development. Kafka was asked about a broad philosophy, you know what I'm talking about, philosophical, good God, question about the benefits of sitting a rookie quarterback instead of playing him early. The question included Patrick Mahomes, who Kafka coached in Kansas City. We know Patrick, he sat the entire first season. Alex Smith was a really good professional quarterback back then. And Alex Smith was, for lack of a better way of putting it, was playing better football than Russell Wilson plays now. So that's one reason why they just let Mahomes sit. He was nothing but a bunch of steady, right? Kafka's response made it seem like there's a lot of flexibility in adjusting the plan based on how the young quarterback responds. Quote, I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. I think you just have to plan for what you want to do and then just kind of work through it from there. Adjust along the way. There's no like cookie cutter way of doing it. Just be flexible with it. Try to work through each of those growth periods. The current growth period for Dart has exceeded everyone's expectations. I'd find it hard to believe that Kafka and Dayball saw a world where he'd complete 74% of his passes with no turnovers. Giants fans should hope that they take a long look back at where they thought Dart would be after the preseason and aggressively adjust if he finishes strong against the Patriots. Additionally, Kafka shared the context on how they're handling making Dart as comfortable as possible by leaning into the offense he played at Ole Miss. That makes a lot of sense. Lane Kiffin's offense. Just to give you an idea of where he's at right now, 26 of 35 for 291 and 2 touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. And he's getting work earlier in these games too. All right? Against some better competition. So, yeah, he's by far, look, as good as Shedeur has looked, and Shedeur looked good. Dylan Gabriel looked good too. Cam Ward has looked good. Tyler Shuck has flashed. All those guys have looked pretty good. Jaxson Dart has far and away looked like the best one of the bunch. And I'm not sure, it's not really close, to be honest. He has looked like the best one. Quote, he's learning the NFL game, maybe a little bit more shotgun than he has been under center. That's fine. That's normal. But he's got plenty of work under center. He had it all spring and all training camp. And so it's not that he can't do it. It's just how much do you want to do it? Certain plays may marry up with certain things differently. The last piece Kafka mentioned about how Dart stood out in his leadership impact as a rookie. It's difficult for young quarterbacks to rally veterans fighting for starting roles. He's done a great job with leadership of that and making sure guys are in the right spot. He's working with guys in that third group that may be young players, other rookies alongside him, other veterans that have played a lot of football as well. So he's done a great job. He seems mature. And look, if you want an interesting watch, go back and watch Jaxson with John Gruden, because it's hilarious. It's really entertaining. There's good stuff. Jaxson did a lot of running around in college. All right, he's athletic, and John Gruden showed him a clip where he should have slid or got down. Instead, he got lit the bleep up. I mean, he got lit up. And John Gruden was like, look, you got to cut that shit out. And that's how John Gruden is. That's how he talks, right? But he was like, look, dude, you got to cut that shit out because you won't be playing if you keep doing that. And that's the kind of stuff that Jaxson Dart's got to get a feel of. You know, Jimmy Garoppolo, he never learned that. We literally, I think the Niners lost him whatever season. I believe he hurt his shoulder or something like that. And it was because he did a head first situation and got lit the bleep up. And that was all she wrote for Jimmy Glass for that year. It was either that or he literally blew his knee out on that play, but it was during contact. And it was head first, and that was it. He was done. It was like C.J. Beathard or Nick Mullins time. Stab me in the eye with a spoon. Seriously. Oh, I got to tell you, Giants got him quarterback. Other quarterbacks out of that draft I like. I like Will Howard. John Gruden liked him a lot too. He had him on that QB. That's something else Shedeur should have done. He should have went on with John Gruden. Shedeur's got habits that John would have hated, and John would have destroyed him. But it would have been a very good back and forth. Dion should have said, look, you need to go on with John. But I think they knew things on the whiteboard and stuff like that wasn't going to work out for Sanders. That said, I think Sanders is learning that stuff. I am shocked. Look, two things happened at Colorado for Deion. Pat Shermer, who is an ex-Giants coach, an offensive coordinator in the NFL, and Deion did Sanders a disservice by running so many concepts at that program that didn't have any pro concepts to it whatsoever. That hurt Sanders because he couldn't extrapolate and talk about this a lot of the stuff when he got, and they should have been studying like crazy behind the scenes NFL concepts with a QB coach. I don't understand what happened in that I could have laid out me sitting here in East Texas could have laid out a better pre-draft process for Shedeur Sanders than what they did for him. Of course, they probably would have fired me when I said, look, you're going to check your ego at the door because these NFL guys don't give a bleep about it. Legendary. No. That said, he's got a shot. He does. Tell me what you think. I like Jaxson Dart a lot. I'm excited. I can't wait to talk about some of his games when he replaces Russell Wilson in about, I don't know, the fourth game. Is Russell over under quarter of the season starting? I'm going to say under. I should say push. I think he'll get 4 games. I don't know. Under. I'm still taking the under. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.